Okay. That was quick. Alright, let's get to seeing. Oh, we're already live. Okay. Alright. Okay. Give a few things a few minutes. Okay. Alright. Good morning. Welcome to Coffee and Resales. My name is Ryan. I get stuff from yard sales, garage sales, thrift stores, and various other similar venues and try to make a few extra bucks online. We are jumping in today to review a few things, and I had a couple of really good finds. One little bitty piece of bad news, but I'll figure it out. And a couple sales. So we're going to jump into my sales first because that's the least exciting thing we've got going right now. They only have 4 sales over the weekend, which is a little low for me, but that's sometimes what happens. Sold another batch of these flat knives, and I actually need to check to make sure I've got a reasonable quantity listed left because these things have been selling at about $9 for 10 of them. So, good little find. I'm making $2 or $3 every time one of them sells. So, and that puts me in the profit pretty quickly because I think I paid $5 for all of them. Next up is a Matchbox card. This one's kind of cool, even though it's kind of mundane at the same time. This is a van. What is a van sold? A dinky little van sold for $10 on eBay. What this is a Hot Wheels 84 Dodge Caravan. That's right, a first-gen Dodge Caravan by Matchbox with a door that actually slides open and closed. And this thing, $10. So, I thought this was a lot of people don't realize it sometimes, but this is one of the few, I think, Gen 1 Dodge Caravans that got made into Hot Wheels or Matchbox form. And I think a lot of people don't necessarily realize that sometimes about Matchbox and sometimes about some of those cars in general, is that there's a handful of vehicles that got real limited runs because they were mundane cars. But now that, like, the Dodge Caravan is kind of a, we've kind of seen it as a little bit of an American icon, oddly enough. It was, that car in decent shape is a $10 Matchbox car. So that was a neat find. It's been up for a few months, but I got it sold. Next up, another $10 sale. This Animal Folk Tales of America. This particular edition is used in homeschooling by I think Memoria Press has does something with this book. So not all American folktale books sell. This one does, about the $10 range. Somewhere between $8 and $12 it typically sells. So we were done with it, so we flipped it. So there you go there. And finally, one of my big bread and butter items, Baptist hymnals. This one's a little special, simply because this thing is mint near mint. It wasn't written in. It was barely used. When I pulled this off the shelf, I thought this was. You're not going to find a better example than this one I found. I don't think it was ever used. It wasn't in a pew. And you can tell. You open this thing barely opens. So it super clean edition. This one went for 25 bucks, but you're not going to find a better one out there. So this is kind of the top of the... I started it at 40. I really wanted to experiment with it when I got it. So I think I started it at about 40 bucks. And I kind of drew it down over time, and it hit at 25. So I'm really pleased with this one. And so Baptist hymnals, and there's a couple other. You got to learn them. But always grab a Baptist hymnal if it's clean, if it's generally clean, for $2 or less. This style, if it has the church on the front, tends to bring the value down a little bit. But the older you have them, the less that matters. But it's still kind of important there. But I mean, this thing's clean. I mean, there's no stamp or anything. All right, that's my sales. I am going to get into. I think I put them not here. I thought I had them here and I didn't. So anyway, they may be on. Oh no, right here. Okay. Well, I messed up a little bit and got a ding on these bad boys. These are pocket knives with I'm not going to use the word here, with a very specific spring action in them. And these are like $50 to $100 knives, but you're not supposed to sell them on eBay. There are very specific restrictions on certain kinds of knives. And these fall under those restrictions, and eBay pulled them and dinged me on them. And it's understandable. I'm not going to whine about it. I'm not going to complain about it. It's one of those gosh awful situations where sometimes when you look something up and you see some people were able to sell them on eBay, and you put yours up and eBay dings you, eBay catches you in a couple days and pulls them off. That's what happened here. So you just got to be careful, and I can't relist them. eBay, that's the type of thing that eBay does kill your account if you do something like that and then try to relist it. So those are, I'm just going to have to try to find a cash buyer locally. No, actually I'm not. Whatever. So that's going to be what happens with these. All right. On to my finds this weekend. We'll start with the less spectacular stuff, and then we'll wind up with what I think are some really good finds. Let's see. Jeans. More jeans. I bought a. And I'm gonna after I get what I want out of it. Excuse me. After I get what I want out of it, I'm gonna sell it probably at a flea market. I got at this specific garage sale, I got a full toolbox full of tools that were in decent shape, and decent tools. I'll pull a few of them out for my own use and flip the rest out at the flea market. Also in that yard sale, blue jeans, 3 pairs of jeans. I'm going to try, and I'm going to throw them up and see if I can't get $20 a pair or something like that for them. They're men's sizes. I think they're not weird sizes, and so I think I might be able to get some money for these on eBay. I don't do jeans a lot. I don't do clothing a lot unless I can get like stupid cheap thrown into a deal. So I think I spent $15 at this particular yard sale, and I got some books, some jeans, some tools. I think one other thing, some Pokemon cards, and so it was worth the risk so I can grab those. I really don't like jeans that much because it's hard to get profit on them because jeans tend to weigh a little bit more. But with the advent of ground advantage, one of the few things USPS has done right in the past few years, I think they may be a little more profit in them now than there was before. So, Goodwill run with a few manga, and yeah, a few manga. This wacky looking guy Well, I'm not sure what that is. I think this is a Masters, like one of the more modern Masters of the Universe figures. So I'm gonna look him up and see what the value is there. He may wind up just sitting on the shelf behind me for a little bit. And religion, the missing books of the Bible. This is the Jewish Apocrypha, the intertestamental books. I've actually sold these before for about 13, 14 bucks, I think. So I knew to grab them right off. Didn't even have to look those up. All right. Next up, the fun finds. I got a different yard sale. This guy had a bunch of late 90s, early 2000s computer games. It was either all like chess and card game programs or Heroes of Might and Magic, and there's about and a few other games, Heroes Chronicles, and so there's a lot. And it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, a dozen or more games I got out of there. And I looked some of these up, and there's some of these Heroes games that are shooting in the $50 to $100 range. So that was, I knew to grab them. I didn't look them up, and it's one of those situations, if the guy's going to let you have them cheap enough, it may be worth just grabbing them and not sitting around and trying to figure it out. So that was those finds, and I was really happy to get them. And this morning I looked some more up, and I'm even happier now. So it was nice to get those this morning out, and hopefully I'll have them listed this week, and I'll be able to get them out this morning. So, a couple other quick things. Another Baptist hymnal I gotta get listed, and History of Pulaski and Bleckley Counties, Georgia. This is one of those that's going to sit around for a little bit, but it's a probably $10 to $30 book that I'm gonna have to wait to find a buyer. But it'll sit around and somebody will find it. So that is it for this morning. And so we are. So computer games, old computer games. They're not all worthwhile, but they are worth looking up. So go find them Go find them, and you'll see what. Look them up if you see them, because sometimes they're worth something. Particularly, I think the ones with the big boxes, because they got a few more stuff and add-ons onto them. So go grab them. Like, comment, subscribe, and I will check with you. Oh, hey, Kevin. Kevin's on. So I'll see you next time. Stay on, Kevin. All right. Hey, Kevin. Good morning from Lakeland, Florida. Yep, you got on just when I was sort of closing things down, but I'm glad you logged on so that you can see what I snagged. And if you don't, so you don't have to go back through. Heroes of Might and Magic. I got about a dozen similar games at a yard sale for 15 bucks. And that was, I think, a really good find, because I think there's some $50 to $100 games in there. We will see. So, I think you're the only one on this morning, and I'm about to get off because some of us have real jobs. So, all right. Y'all be good. Bye.